It's getting really close to the election day. I'm voting, please don't cut off my section 8. As soon as past the collection plate, I'm like, shit, I'm trying to stack for an Escalade. But pay your tithes, time, money I devise, wise, cunning, little plans to withstand. When cats drive by funny like I ain't got what he got. I don't play that, nigga, we bay cats that don't fuck with J cats. You trying to act like a boss, save it, partner, the 1st and 15th. You beating up your baby mama and you know that money for the baby. No, we ain't right. At the stoplight looking at me crazy. Seems like you'll get up and golden, got up and left. You trying to throw with Jonathan, yo? Gotta be deaf, cause I can flow like Donovan throw. Sound supersonic, foreign gin and tonic with some chronic to blow.
It's like that, Anna. You know, this is all original.
And that's how it goes.
It's like that, Anna. You know.
On the microphone, here we go.
It's like that, Anna. You know, this is all original.
And that's how it goes.
It's like that, Anna. You know.
Here we go.
It go, homeboy, save the shit. He mad cause I gave the dig to his favorite chick. You know the flavor. Partner tried to save her quick, but that behavior really just made her sick. I put the O in only, you put the hoe in homie. I got a company, now niggas steady flowing for me. Well, buy my album and play it like your favorite movie. If not, then don't say shit to me. Shit, this independent dough, we splurging, and boy, I'ma stay in the bay like sea urchins. Poetical, progressive, popping it proper. Ask them cats I made a mess of rocking it. Yeah, high-row aggressive operative, still got connects on them A1 ostriches. Not the type that'll spoil my women. I just take them to the crib so they can soil my linens like why.
You know, this is all original.
And that's how it goes.
It's like that, Anna. You know.
On the microphone, here we go.
It's like that, Anna. You know, this is all original.
And that's how it goes.
It's like that, Anna. You know.
Here we go.
Been about 10 long years, still come flawless. The lawless warrior, William Wallace, rapping till I get $1 million. Like homegirl stripping, still in college, trying to get papered up. Please believe I help her breathe like vapor rub. Rock the mic in your favorite club. Rock flavors like haters might step on the gators, right? Shit, from the bay to Decatur, the mic motivator. Hold a mic like Yoda, hold a saber. You know the flavor, watch your behaviors cool. I'm off the handsome boy modeling school, and please believe I got a locker full of vodka and backwoods. I can play the doctor and start writing prescriptions if you fighting addictions. I'm writing the distance, my music enlightens who listens. Check it out, it's like that, Anna.
You know, this is all original.
And that's how it goes.
It's like that, Anna. You know.
On the microphone, here we go.
What up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Want to listen to the speech too? I kind of do. Where's that shit at?
Wait, Germany, Spain, they're all falling on their faces. Katie Hobbs announced today there's a 300.
Go or what? Cool. Well, I finally made it up here because last time I came here, I got arrested before I could even make it up here unlawfully, you know. And then this man right here, Mike Rankin, spent 6 months making up motions in court, pulling every legal trick in the book, and they all failed, didn't they, Mike? Yep, they all failed. And then the clerk doesn't like to respond, maybe not you personally, but Susan doesn't like to respond. I put in multiple notices of claim. How come I haven't got receipt that they've been acknowledged that you've received them? Of course, you can't answer because you're just here to listen. Lane Santa Cruz is over here. I used to live next door to her. She used to put notes on my van telling me not to park in front of her house on a public street or she'd call the police. So go look back in November of 2022, there's going to be police reports of her telling me that that's the hill I'm going to die on. So she's obviously retaliating against me as soon as I came in here last time. But now we do need to find some peace, because last time you guys are all super hyper, go blue, go blue, go blue, all this. You were down at the meetings talking in Chicago thinking you guys were going to brainwash enough people to come in here. But now, I mean, you have to respect me. I'm a grown-ass man. I come in here. I contribute to this community. I am a member. I'm friends with all these people. I support their rights. They support my rights. That's all we have is each other. I actually support all your rights too. But the thing is that how Romero, on the same night that you had me arrested, you were talking about this is our chamber, that our rights are everybody's rights, and everybody, but I've been trying to subpoena you for 6 months. Where you been? 6 months I've been putting subpoenas in between the two courts, city and justice court, and they've been dodging it, and now they dropped the charges instead of putting you on the stand. But you're not going to get away unless you write me a check for at least $300,000. That's the going rate for arresting somebody at the meeting unlawfully now, $300,000, Rankin. So get it going. $300,000. Write my name on it. $300,000. You arrested this guy for booing. That's the going rate. Or you can waste. You're going to be up here asking, "Hey, we need taxpayer money to pay our lawyers," because you definitely don't want to have this guy go against me in court, because he is absolute trash. He should be disbarred, as a matter of fact, and I'm working on that right now, because some of the filings you filed, I could have picked any random person in this meeting right here, and they could have did better than that. And that's the city attorney. You couldn't even beat Lane Myers in court. So what are you going to do now? Spend more taxpayer money, right? Pay one of your buddies in Tucson, and they're going to lose in court too. And I told you that ahead of time, didn't I? I told you, don't get in a courtroom with Lane Myers, because you'll lose. Matt Walker, all of them, right? MJ Raciti, Matt Walker, Judge Crenshaw, Judge Mayhew, all of them, right? They all tried and failed, didn't they? Every one of you can blame Mike Rankin, because all of you are going to be defendants in a federal lawsuit because of bad legal advice from Mike Rankin.
Mark,
Boo. Boo. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for coming in. I know it's very late. I've wrote a lot of emails today. JC, I actually just read your email. Thank you so much for doing that. Everybody that has written an email, everybody that's made a phone call, everybody that's shared the anti-slap with somebody else so that they could do the same. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I don't think I could adequately convey how much I appreciate it. So I appreciate it. So what is going on, everybody? We're gonna God willing, we're gonna knock out the rest of this thing. We still have I don't know, what is that, 15 pages or so, but we're into the meat of it now. How's everybody doing tonight? Any word from Lane? I have not heard from Lane today, although I didn't really expect to hear from him today. He wouldn't have anything new to tell me, other than he either has eaten or hasn't eaten. Hopefully they've got his special diet under control. How's his wife holding up? I think she's holding up good, all things considered. So, but she's a tough chick, you know? So, she could probably beat Lane's ass. Have I contacted Rebecca Massey? I think that Rebecca Massey actually doesn't like Lane, because I think Lane reached out to her on Twitter or something, on some, maybe it was on Facebook, on his Facebook, and you know how those things go sometimes. You know, personalities, they sometimes collide. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get right into it. All right, so B, we went through A earlier. Was that this morning that we did that? Anybody know? I feel like it was this morning. It was probably this morning. B, Mr. Myers has a prima facie evidence of the state's motivation to deter, prevent, and retaliate against his lawful exercise of his First Amendment rights. What up, Jenny? The precise requirements of a prima facie case vary depending on the context and were never intended to be rigid, mechanicized, mechanized. It's gonna be one of those nights. It's gonna be one of those nights where I can't read. Wow. Maybe it'll just be me in here in a minute. Or ritualistic. I can't read that name. Verse Saroma, 2002. The prima facie standard is a flexible evidentiary standard that does not impose rigid requirements to bar the complainant from stating a claim. Courts describe prima facie burden as not onerous, light, and a low bar to. I didn't read the. I don't know. That was probably up there. Yep. Light and a low bar to hurdle. Lewis v. the City of Union City, Georgia, in 2009. Prima facie requires only a small showing that can be easily made, but it is not meant to stymie plaintiffs. The prima facie phase anticipates that the plaintiff need make only a generalized showing of the elements. The minimal burden to make a generalized showing of the prima facie stage ensures the prima facie case acts as a hill and not as a mountain. Prima facie standard is a low bar. Number 1. Mr. Myers is an independent journalist who owns a media company and a YouTube channel with 15,000 subscribers. Mr. Myers is legally entitled to publish stories, opinions, statements, videos, public records, court hearings, and any other content in the format of his choosing regarding matters of public concern and interest, including court cases in which Mr. Myers himself is a party. Mr. Myers' speech is no different in this respect from the speech of journalists and media outlets that publish content regarding matters of public interest and concern. Mr. Myers made one phone call to Shannon Walker's work phone number on September 12, 2024. That call was made in Mr. Myers' capacity as an independent journalist investigating the prosecution of Mr. Myers by City Prosecutor Matt Walker, and in Mr. Myers' capacity as a self-represented defendant seeking assistance from the Director of Special Projects at the University of Arizona Law School, who, at the time, was Mrs. Walker. Mr. Myers never contacted Mr. Walker on her personal telephone number, personal email, personal address, or in any personal capacity whatsoever. The only communication that Mr. Myers directed at Mrs. Walker was in her professional capacity and involving a matter of public concern that Mr. Myers was investigating and party to. Neither Mrs. Walker nor anyone else has ever asked Mr. Myers to retract or correct any statements. Neither Mrs. Walker nor anyone else has intimated a lawsuit against Mr. Myers for defamation, slander, or libel. No one has alleged that Mr. Myers has made threats of harm or violence directed at Mrs. Walker or anyone else. There are no allegations of incitement, true threats, obscenity, or fighting words. All of Mr. Myers' videos regarding legal proceedings and matters of public record and interest are First Amendment protected activity. Absolutely not. He's never would threaten violence, you know? vintage video and TV. He's not a journalist. He has to be hired as a separate entity from the business. That's ridiculous. Freedom Productions LLC owns all of the videos. Owns all of the videos on Lane's channel. The LLC owns the videos. Lane Myers shoots the videos. What? A journalist has to be hired? What? Bro, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. I think that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, bro. Oh, here's some more dumb shit. He told his supporters to call, so he's responsible for those calls? Really? He's responsible for those calls? You're insane. YouTube owns them? Is that what you think? You're silly, bro. Bev's channel says, seems pretty obvious that Lane isn't a journalist. Look at all these First Amendment hating cucks. Come on in. Pack the chat full of your nonsense comments. We love them. That's great. I love that you love the show, Bev. I appreciate you being here, even if you hate me, or love to laugh at my what? My insanity. Let's get back to this because unlike the nonsense coming out of those trolls, this is well thought out, articulate, and gonna end up winning them a lot of money in the end. The state's actions and statements so far in this prosecution show retaliatory animus. To be clear, Mr. Myers is currently facing 8 felony counts and up to 45 years in prison for videos he made on YouTube regarding public proceedings, public records, and his community's opinions about the merits and motivations of those legal cases and proceedings. The nature of this prosecution shows that the state is escalating its efforts to deter and prevent Mr. Myers from speaking freely and publicly about his experiences with and opinions of the judicial system. As evidence of the state's retaliatory animus, Mr. Myers presents the following undisputed facts. So she's probably gonna object to the undisputed facts. A, the state sought a $25,000 bond for Mr. Myers' release for crimes that are bailable as a matter of right and that do not allege any violence, threat of violence, or risk of violence. The state has already sought to use Mr. Myers' previous nonviolent felony convictions that are 19 and 26 years old, respectively, to enhance the charges and subject him to mandatory prison time. C, the state referred at the March 14th hearing to videos Mr. Myers has made about public figures and officials, to wit, 7 federal judges, 13 Pima County judges, 5 local prosecutors, 25 members of law enforcement, 18 City of Tucson employees, 39 Pima County employees, 10 United States Marshals, 20 University of Arizona employees, and 15 University of Arizona police officers. Mr. Myers has not been criminally charged for any of these videos. None of them. The state cited these videos as evidence for why Mr. Myers should be in pre-trial detention. Any other videos Mr. Myers made about other public officials and figures are entirely unrelated to this case. This statement indicates the state's motivation to broadly deter Mr. Myers from producing and publishing content involving public figures and officials to the extent of jailing him to prevent further speech. See, like, it's the people, I don't even know what's been going on in the chat, but I can just imagine. It's people want to see, you know, some people want people to be in a cage for speech, right? And then some people understand the First Amendment. So there's that. So I certainly appreciate the members of the chat that know what's going on. D. The state sought to condition Mr. Myers' release on deprivation of his access to sought to condition Mr. Myers' release on a deprivation of his access to the internet and social media. This indicates a clear intent and desire to deprive Mr. Myers of his First Amendment right to free speech. The state is trying to revoke Mr. Myers' bond for continuing to talk about his own court case, which a public proceeding is not subject to a gag order. The state continues to charge additional felonies against Mr. Myers for speech that is critical of the state and government actors. 15. The state intends to file charges against Mr. Myers for wearing a t-shirt depicting digital art that is related to this case. If artistic expression is a crime and a threat to the community, Pima County will need to build a much larger jail. Taken as a whole, and viewed in the totality of the circumstances, this evidence shows that this prosecution is motivated by a desire to stop Mr. Myers from criticizing the state and its actors, not to obtain justice for the alleged victim. Incarcerating Mr. Myers is the only way the state can silence him. The state is weaponizing its power to incarcerate, to chill Mr. Myers' exercise of free speech. The facts of this case, viewed in their entirety, show that Mr. Myers is being prosecuted for who he is and for his beliefs and opinions, not for what he has done. Good to hear the sound's good. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you would think that they would stop digging. The hole is already so enormous for them. Oh. You just need to go away. See you later. Enjoy your time out. Who is Matt? Matt Walker is the Tucson City prosecutor. He's married to Shannon Walker, the University of Arizona law school employee. She is the alleged victim in the case, and he is sharing his attorney work product with the Pima County prosecutor. So he is working with the Pima County prosecutor, and his wife is the victim in the case. So, I mean, that sounds ethical, right? That totally sounds ethical. Oof. All right, 3. Judges in Mr. Myers' previous court cases in Tucson Court and Pima County Justice Court refused to remove the videos. Mr. Myers' videos that are subject of this criminal prosecution have already been scrutinized by judges in prior proceedings involving Shannon Walker's injunction against harassment against Mr. Myers. The injunction against harassment has been appealed to the Arizona Court of Appeals. Mr. Myers believes the injunction violates his First Amendment rights and Arizona case law. Excuse me. None of those judges ordered Mr. Myers to remove the videos. The judges found that they could not order Mr. Myers to remove the videos because the videos are speech protected by the First Amendment. On November 14th, 2024, Judge Brenden Griffin, also known as the Dabbler, explicitly stated during his ruling on the IAH contested hearing that the videos posted prior to November 14th, 2024 was allowed to remain on Mr. Myers' YouTube channel because it's First Amendment protected activity involving a public official. If the videos were legally cognizable as harassment, the court would have already ordered them removed. Because court proceedings thus far have not resulted in the removal of the videos, the state is now escalating its efforts by attempting criminal prosecution. The prosecution is motivated by the desire to deter or prevent Mr. Myers' free speech. Number 4. YouTube has refused to remove the videos. YouTube has strict policies regarding bullying, harassment, and privacy. YouTube removes YouTube removes content that violates its policies, which are in many cases stricter than the legal standards applicable to similar conduct. Mrs. Walker and potentially other individuals have repeatedly reported Mr. Myers' video as violations of YouTube policies prohibiting bullying and harassment on its platform. YouTube has found that the videos did not violate its policies regarding bullying, harassment, and privacy. Because the state and Ms. Walker have been unsuccessful thus far in removing the videos through established and lawful means, the state has now escalated its efforts in this prosecution. The state's escalation is intended to intimidate Mr. Myers into suppressing his free speech on public matters. They picked the wrong one. Picked the wrong motherfucker. Chris, right? What did he say? God, I wish I could remember exactly what the Dabbler said. While I do dabble in it, Jesus Christ, you just dabble in the First Amendment, huh? What up, Torque? What up, Liberty Troll? Yeah, bro. For sure. Just dabbling around with that Constitution. Alright. 5. The prosecution is intended to prevent Mr. Myers' videos from appearing in Google search results for Shannon Walker. Alright, I just have to... I'm just curious. Still the astronaut and Shannon Walker pack leader, dog trainer. We got some work to do to move up in that algorithm. Let's see how much it changes though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a little different. Sorry. You won't be scrubbing my videos. Seems like we need more videos. Not nearly enough videos. A Google search result from the Shannon Walker University of Arizona returns Mr. Myers' video in the top in the top 5 search results. He was the first 2, wasn't he? Yep. Yep. And then mine, and then his. And then this person. And then another one of his. So we got to get rid of this one so we can round out the top 5. How do we get that done, everybody? Given the failure of legal proceedings thus far to remove the videos, it stands to reason that the state is prosecuting this matter at least in part to force Mr. Myers to remove his videos. In fact, he has already agreed to remove the videos, at least temporarily, as a condition of his release. Such condition interferes with Mr. Myers' operation of his media company and likely violates the First Amendment. Regardless, the state appears to be motivated by an interest in protecting Mrs. Walker's undefined and unsupported right to privacy on Google. Such an interest directly violates Mr. Myers' constitutionally protected right to free speech. If the state has an interest in reducing media attention and publication of online content related to Mr. Myers' court cases, it would be well advised to consider that the longer this prosecution proceeds, the more media attention this case will receive, and the more content will be made and publishing regarding it. The Streisand effect is known. The Streisand is a phenomenon in which an attempt to censor, hide, or otherwise draw attention away from something only serves to attract more attention to it. The author of the blog post that coined the term stated, "How long is it going to take before lawyers realize that the simple act of trying to repress something they don't like online is likely to make it so that something that most people will never ever see is now something now seen by many more people." I can't fucking read tonight, guys. Let's call it the Streisand effect. Streisand effect Britannica. Mr. Myers has already received attention from news outlets across the country due to these felony charges. The state is unwittingly making Mr. Myers into a First Amendment martyr. That's just facts. I mean, where's Mr. Myers right now? Oh, that's right. He's in fucking jail. Oh, I'm slacking. Whole fucking point of this thing is to get people to email and call this guy. I haven't even put his contact information in here. What the fuck is wrong with me? Guys, please. It's not beneath me to beg. I'm begging you, please. Let me know if this voicemail is full. And leave a voicemail and be respectful and reference the anti-slap and just some of the emails I read today were the most articulate. They were heartwarming is what they were. I mean, they were heartbreaking because of what's happening, right? But the fact that people are taking time to do it it means a tremendous amount to me, and I imagine it will mean the same to Lane. So thank you. But anyway, there's the number. Let's pin it. Where the fuck did it go? We're gonna play games, huh? Yeah. So give that a call. Send some emails. Forward the anti-slap. It's in the description along with some other documents. Forward it to any news agencies, people, anybody you know, your uncles, your whoever. Share it far and wide. Lane is due in court on Tuesday. He has a bond hearing on Tuesday, and from our discussion yesterday, he didn't seem particularly optimistic about his chances of getting out of jail on Tuesday. He has another hearing on Friday. He has another hearing on Friday, and that's to review the conditions of release. Aaron Queen is such a funny guy. Good evening, Nico and Sai. All right, number 6. Mr. Myers won his contested hearing of an injunction against harassment sought by Miss Stacy Jane for the same or similar conduct that Shannon Walker alleged in her injunction against Mr. Myers. As this court may be aware, the University of Arizona professor Stacy Jane and Shannon Walker's colleague attempted to obtain an injunction against harassment against Mr. Myers based on his contacts to her regarding the same matter about which Mr. Myers contacted Miss Walker. The record shows that Mr. Myers' communications to Stacy Jane and Miss Walker occurred on the same day and at the same time, were involving the same matter and were substantially similar. Further, Miss Jane is also an employee of the state of Arizona. In a contested injunction hearing, Mr. Myers successfully dismissed Miss Jane's injunction against him. Neither the court nor YouTube has removed Mr. Myers' videos regarding the injunction and hearing with Miss Jane. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Number 7. The city of Tucson has already unlawfully arrested and prosecuted Mr. Myers for free speech. On or about June 4th, 2024, Mr. Myers was arrested and charged for trespassing, disorderly conduct, and failure to ID when he attended a Tucson City Council meeting and booed while other audience members clapped while wearing a red "Make America Great Again" hat. This prosecution, as well as the prior prosecution, are motivated at least in part by the fact that Mr. Myers wears a red "Make America Great Again" hat in many of his videos. Supporters of the Make America Great Again supporters of the Make America Great Again or the MAGA movement are a political minority in the city of Tucson and Pima County. This is additional evidence that Mr. Myers is being prosecuted for his beliefs and who he is, not for anything he has done. Sorry. Mayor Regina Romero ordered Tucson police to remove Mr. Myers from a meeting due to his booing, which, to be clear, was at the same time and same volume as other audience members clapping, and which did not disrupt or interfere with the meeting. The case was initially prosecuted by City of Tucson prosecutor Matthew Walker. The case has been transferred. The case was then transferred to Pima County Justice Court, where it was dismissed without prejudice. The City of Tucson court case number is CM 2421557. The Justice Court case number is CR 2409682-MI. After we get done, thank you, NWC, I appreciate that. After we get done with the slap, we're gonna get into something that I don't have to read. I'm really looking forward to that. We're gonna go through that Matt Walker hearing, because I think all of this is about his ego, his bruised ego, and he's dragging his wife through the mud because of his hurt ego. I don't believe for a second that what on earth could she possibly be scared of? I mean, what was count 14? Aggravated stalking, fear of death. Come on, Shannon. Fear of death over a guy that you've never spoken to, only been in the same room with at court hearings. Delusional. 8. Matthew Walker, Shannon Walker's spouse, filed a petition with the Arizona Supreme Court to stop Mr. Myers from audio recording court proceedings pursuant to Arizona Supreme Court rules. If it's not insane enough, and then I'm not, hopefully everybody that's in here knows, the Pima County Attorney's Office has signed on with that ludicrous petition. Lunatics, these people. It appears that at least 4 of the videos alleged in the counts in the indictment are concerning Matthew Walker, Mrs. Walker's spouse, and his prior prosecution of Mr. Myers. The state appears to be alleging in at least one count that Mr. Myers stated Mrs. Walker's name during one of the videos in which Mr. Myers discussed Mr. Walker's prosecution of Mr. Myers. The mere statement of an individual's name without more is not an act of harassment. He called her a cunt. You remember? I remember. That's what he said. He said, "You're a cunt. Your wife's a cunt." I would have just left it at, "You're a cunt." But we're going to watch that whole hearing, or listen to it, I guess. It's listen to it because there's no video, but it's bad, Matt. It's real bad. It's, bro. It's super bad. Like, if anybody hasn't seen that video, it's total emasculation. What up, Sly Shy? Matthew Walker attended the hearing at which Mr. Myers contested Mrs. Walker's injunction against him and gave Mrs. Walker legal advice from the gallery. There's video evidence of it too. Mr. Walker also attended Mrs. Walker's initial hearing at which she testified to obtain the injunction. At that hearing, Mr. Walker asked the judge to remove Mr. Myers' video. The judge declined. One video that is subject of the indictment against Mr. Myers is a video in which Mr. Myers discusses continuing legal education, CLE video, created by Mr. Walker titled Disclosure and Its Contents. Mr. Walker's video advises prosecutors how to weaponize the discovery and disclosure process against defendants. Mr. Myers' video criticizes Mr. Walker's video. On January 10th, 2025, Mr. Walker filed a petition with the Arizona Supreme Court to change Rule 122H to end all parties' ability to audio record courtroom proceedings without prior explicit permission from the court, including a motion and a hearing. Arizona Supreme Court Rule 122H governs audio recording of courtroom proceedings. Should the court require further briefing on Arizona Supreme Court Rule 122H, Mr. Myers requests an opportunity to present such briefing. The petition number is R25031, available at that website right there. The petition alleges that individuals have misused and openly weaponized the court rule. The petition cites Mr. Myers' video titled Lane Myers Wins 2 Cases in 1 Day. Video has 22,000 views and 526 comments. That's a great one too. Mr. Myers' petition states that the issue will only get worse unless the court changes the rules. But whether the rule was positive or whether the rule has positive or negative effects, or whether recording or broadcasting hearings is improving or degrading court proceedings, is clearly a matter of opinion. Mr. Walker further states that there's no reason why a judge should not have complete control over whether recording or broadcasting occurs in his or her courtroom, but the Supreme Court did not draft the rule to allow judges complete discretion over recording or broadcasting. There are good arguments against allowing judges such discretion, most notably transparency, the public interest in court hearings and legal proceedings, and the integrity of the judicial system, which, as a rule, allows for public access and participation. Further, the rule as written prevents courts from using it to restrict some litigants from recording while allowing others. We saw that play out in the last court hearing, didn't we? Where they took away somebody's ability to record mid-hearing after it had been approved and secured. Okay. I guess judges should have complete control over their courtroom. Public shouldn't know what's going on. Secret courts is what we need. We need some more secret courts, guys. Secrecy is the exception to. Secrecy is the exception in court proceedings, not the rule. All court records, except those in sealed cases, are public records. All court hearings are open to the public, with only very limited and case-by-case exceptions. The Sixth Amendment enshrines a defendant's right to a public trial. All court hearings and those recordings and or transcripts are available for order by any member of the public. Many courts live stream hearings on court websites to allow public attendance in virtual hearings. What Mr. Walker describes as embarrassing or harassing, Mr. Myers contends is in the interest of transparency, which is essential for public accountability. Denying or restricting public access to court proceedings erodes public trust in the judicial system. The popularity of Mr. Myers' YouTube channel itself shows the public interest in accessing legal information in court proceedings. that's a fact. I've never wanted to watch a court proceeding so much. You know what I mean? Regardless of the substance or merits of Mr. Walker's arguments in the petition, which is up to the Supreme Court to resolve, the existence and content of the petition constitutes prima facie evidence of the state's motivation to deter and prevent Mr. Myers from exercising constitutionally protected speech and from recording and broadcasting his court hearings. On March 14, 2025, 3 hours before Mr. Myers' arraignment in this case, Pima County Attorney Laura Conover joined Mr. Walker's petition to the Supreme Court. Mrs. Conover described Mr. Walker's petition as thoughtful and well-reasoned. We're talking about this guy back here with the dick in his face. That guy's thoughtful and well-reasoned. He got his ass absolutely fucking destroyed by Lane. But he's thoughtful and well-reasoned. Okay. Cool story, Matt. This timing is not a coincidence. It is strong evidence of a coordinated and strategic action by the state to silence Mr. Myers, to prevent him from recording and broadcasting his court hearings, to prevent him from holding state and government actors accountable, and to prevent public knowledge of and access to public proceedings which the public is entitled to have knowledge of and access to. Taken as a whole, and viewed in the totality of the circumstances, these actions by Mr. Walker, who is the prosecutor for the city of Tucson and is married to Shannon Walker, as well as the Pima County Attorney Laura Conover, who initiated this prosecution, constitutes prima facie evidence that the state is seeking to stop Mr. Myers from lawfully exercising his First Amendment rights. The state's actions show ongoing, continuous, coordinated, strategic, and escalating efforts to silence Mr. Myers. Number 9. Mr. Myers has appealed the injunction that is the subject of this prosecution. On or about January 17, 2025, I imagine, Mr. Myers filed an appeal of Mrs. Walker's injunction against harassment with the Arizona Court of Appeals. That appeal is not yet fully briefed and remains pending. Mr. Myers intends to raise his legal arguments on appeal, but for the purposes of this motion, will briefly summarize them here. Mr. Myers believes the injunction obtained against him by Mrs. Walker was legally improper because Mrs. Walker alleged just one act of harassment, the phone call that Mr. Myers made to Mrs. Walker on September 12, 2024. All other allegations by Mrs. Walker in support of the injunction involved acts by third parties, which cannot be the basis for an injunction against harassment. Statements to third parties about an individual, even if offensive or defamatory, do not constitute harassment under Arizona law, LaFaro v. Cahill, 2022. Issuance of an injunction against harassment requires that the defendant engaged in a series of acts of harassment that were directed at a specific person. At a minimum, a series of acts requires 2 incidents. Further, the statutory definition of harassment requires that the harassing act be directed at a specific person complaining of the harassment. Talking about an individual and expressing one's opinion of that individual's acts, especially when those acts are public or political in nature, is not harassment. Arizona harassment law cannot be used to restrict protected political speech. Speech about court proceedings and active litigation, while perhaps not overtly political, falls within the same category as political speech. Because it involves matters of public interest and concern, court records and court proceedings are matters of public record. No legal precedent broadly restricts an individual's ability to discuss active litigation. Moreover, after the court upheld the injunction, Mr. Myers directed his YouTube viewers not to contact Mrs. Walker. Don't contact Mrs. Walker. Contact that judge. Contact that judge up there. Send them an email. Send them a voicemail. Include this anti-slap motion and what some things that you thought might have been good points or well thought out points. The initial injunction obtained by Mrs. Walker is legally improper because it orders that the defendant is prohibited from posting any messages or content regarding the plaintiff via any social media platform. This is not relief that is available through an injunction against harassment. An injunction against harassment is designed to prevent a defendant from contacting the plaintiff, not from speaking about him or her. An injunction against harassment does not prohibit defamatory or derogatory statements about an individual, nor does it prohibit the posting of publicly available contact information for an individual. Such posts would be prosecuted under ARS 13-2916, which the state has not charged Mr. Myers with violating. The state likely has not charged Mr. Myers with violating ARS 13-2916 because the statute does not apply to constitutionally protected speech or activity, and because Mrs. Walker has not experienced any actual harm as a result of Mr. Myers' social media posts, ARS 13-2916 C1. The initial injunction obtained by Mrs. Walker violates Mr. Myers' First Amendment right to free speech on its face. The initial injunction was modified at a November 14th hearing with the dabbler. Mr. Myers contends that the modified November 14th injunction also violates his First Amendment rights and is also legally invalid. Mr. Myers is prepared to present additional evidence and argument on this issue at the court's request. The fact that the state brought this prosecution before the legality of the underlying injunction was resolved is further evidence of the state's retaliatory motive. Neither Mrs. Walker nor anyone else should be surprised by the fact that an individual against whom an injunction that he believes is unlawful was obtained believes is unlawful. Neither Miss Walker nor anyone else should be surprised by the fact that an individual against whom an injunction that he believes is unlawful was obtained, who would speak publicly about his opinions and experiences during that proceeding. The fact that the state initiated this prosecution prior to the resolution of the appeal of the injunction is further evidence of the intent to silence Mr. Myers. 10. What do you guys think? Beb's still at it, huh? Beb's hate watching. Just trying to work, getting in here, trying to work people up. You know, that's the motivation here on the timing of this arrest, because he, you know, the briefing is due. You know, you file your appeal and then you have to write your brief and then you have to submit your brief. Well, it's coming time that the brief is due. You know what I mean? So, you know, if Matt and Shannon, if they get Lane locked up, well, problem solved, right? We can get it so he can't get his appeal. And really what that means is Lane can't sue them personally, because right now Lane can sue the shit out of him personally and they're on the hook for it. And there's not even an immunity discussion, right? Because the injunction was sought in their personal capacity, right? It wasn't sought in their professional capacity. So it's the dirtiest of dirty shit, right? These people are so corrupt. think about the walker's daughters, right? They're gonna grow up, and they're gonna find out one day, like, that their mom and their dad, they're pure evil, right? Or they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be pure evil. I'm not sure which one's worse for the walkers. You know what I mean? But what they're doing is evil. It's evil. And I'm going to make a point of making sure that they know that I think that. 10. The disclosure received thus far includes no reports of acts of harassment. While Mr. Myers has not yet received full disclosure from the state, he has received police reports of the alleged violation of Mrs. Walker's injunction against harassment. These reports do not include a single incident of actual harassment under ARS 13-2921 or 132916. In fact, what the current disclosure shows is a November 7th, 2024 video that is 2.5 hours long, in which Mr. Myers says Shannon Walker's name at 1 hour and 52 minutes and 32 seconds. So that's a crime, huh? During a 2.5 hour video, he said her name one time, and that was a crime. See what I mean about these people being evil? That's evil. That is... an October 30th live stream in which Mr. Myers discusses a legal proceeding in which he is a party, his arrest related to that case, and the injunction against harassment. The video shows the injunction against harassment, which has Mrs. Myers' name on it. An October 29th live stream of the Tucson court hearings in which Mr. Myers mentioned Mrs. Walker's injunction against harassment and Mrs. Walker's name to the judge during a legal argument. You can't even say it to a judge. On October 24th, a video that at one point shows an open browser tab with Shannon Walker's name displayed. Yeah. These people sound ethical. These people have integrity. That's right. That's right, Torque. Laura Cuntover is right. So her name was on an open tab. Fuck. Kill him. An October 21st video shows Mrs. Walker's University of Arizona webpage was deemed a violation of the injunction against harassment and a warrant issued by the Tucson police. The very next day, Tucson police rescinded the warrant because there was not an actual violation, but they still charged him with a crime for it. Dirty fucks. Shannon, what are you doing? Exactly. Of course it's not a crime. Of course it's not a crime. And if I was Lane, I would certainly feel stalked and harassed. Stalked into his court hearings where where he's kidnapped. Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. On March 18th, the state provided Mr. Myers with a supplemental disclosure that contained 80 pages. Within that disclosure was an email from Mrs. Walker to an anonymous YouTube watcher. Warren. Is Warren in the chat tonight? Warren. That's the YouTube watcher, Warren, thanking him for sending her a video that Mr. Myers posted. Specifically, Mrs. Walker responds, "Thank you for letting me know. I really do appreciate it." This additional evidence that the intentional animus in prosecution to target Mr. Myers to the point where Mrs. Walker actively facilitated and encouraged the collection of evidence to use against him. Yet somehow, emails from people who agree with Mr. Myers are harassment. Mrs. Walker's statement thanking the anonymous viewer also undermines the claim that she felt intimidated to the point of fearing for his life. The email from the YouTube viewer states that the video link he sends Mrs. Walker shows Mr. Myers at your office door, claiming he was looking for you to interview you, claiming he was there for a news story. This supports Mr. Myers' position, consistent with all of the evidence in this case, that Mr. Myers was at all times acting in his capacity as an investigative journalist and a self-represented litigant. Warren didn't even know he got played right there. Warren played himself. Warren got caught sleeping on himself. Nothing alleged in the reports received indicates that Mr. Myers had any direct contact with Mrs. Walker. While Mrs. Walker or the state may believe that the injunction prohibiting Mr. Myers from posting any messages or content regarding the plaintiff via any social media platform was unlawful, they are mistaken. Mr. Myers cannot be restricted from or charged for exercising First Amendment rights. Yet the court, and now the state through this prosecution, has repeatedly attempted to use the legal process to stymie and stifle Mr. Myers' free speech. The state's actions are violating Arizona's anti-SLAPP law, which is intended to stop cases as this one from moving forward. And I don't understand why. Okay, we've gotten to number 11. Do we need to see more? Do we need to say more if we're the judge to say, okay, at the very least, let's get this guy out of jail, right? Maybe there is a crime here, but holy shit, I mean, maybe we better tread a little more lightly here, since I'm not really seeing any crimes, huh? But no, I mean, what the hell is going on? Please email the judge. Please send him a voicemail. Is his voicemail full yet? Anybody know if his voicemail is full yet? Alright. Yeah, I mean, they're all in on it for sure. They're so in on it. They're working in the out in the open together, colluding. Number 11. Mr. Myers has not been charged for any other videos. A cursory review of Mr. Myers' YouTube channel for nonviolent social change will show that Mr. Myers has created and published content about numerous public employees and officials. As the state argued at arraignment, Mr. Myers has published videos about at least 7 federal judges, 13 Pima County judges, 5 local prosecutors, 25 local members of law enforcement, 18 City of Tucson employees, 39 Pima County employees, 10 U.S. Marshals, 20 University of Arizona employees, 15 University of Arizona police officers. That list may not be incomplete. The state's position that Mr. Myers should be jailed for creating and publishing this content turns the First Amendment on its head. The wide breadth of videos and content Mr. Myers has produced shows that he has not singled out Shannon Walker or anyone else with the degree of specificity or directness that would be necessary to support charges for harassment or stalking. If the court is familiar with the television show South Park, it is analogous to Mr. Myers' YouTube channel. It's funny. While one may find South Park's content disturbing, disgusting, repulsive, or offensive, it is indisputably protected by the First Amendment. Mr. Myers is an investigative journalist and a self-represented litigant. He has not singled out Shannon Walker, and he has not been criminally charged for any other videos. C. The state cannot meet its burden to show that it was unaware of Mr. Myers' lawful exercise of First Amendment rights, or that it has a consistent practice of pursuing similar legal actions. Once Mr. Myers meets his burden to show prima facie evidence of the state's motivation to deter, prevent, or retaliate against his lawful exercise of constitutional protected rights, the burden shifts to the state to show that it did not initiate the prosecution in order to deter, prevent, or retaliate against Mr. Myers' lawful exercise of his constitutional right. The state has 3 avenues to show that it did not act with the motivation of retaliation, deterrence, or prevention. First, the state can argue that it was unaware of Mr. Myers' lawful exercise of his constitutional rights. Mr. Myers' lawful exercise of his constitutional right of free speech is in the form of videos published on the internet. Everyone involved in this case is well aware of the existence of the videos. Further, Mr. Myers' bio in his YouTube channel, the Lane Myers Channel for Nonviolent Social Change, states that he is a First Amendment advocate. There is no plausible argument that the state is unaware of Mr. Myers' lawful exercise of constitutional rights. Second, the state can argue that it has a consistent practice of pursuing similar legal actions against similarly situated persons who did not lawfully exercise a constitutional right. To show this, the state would have to show that it prosecuted all other individuals who engaged in the same or similar conduct as Mr. Myers, and that conduct was not the lawful exercise of constitutional right. The state cannot show this because it cannot show that Mr. Myers' activity was not a lawful exercise of constitutional right to free speech. It also cannot show that it has prosecuted other individuals for similar conduct. In fact, Mr. Myers' videos are currently published on other social media channels, and other social media channels have created and published content regarding the same legal proceedings that are the subject of the videos for which Mr. Myers is being prosecuted. None of the individuals who published the videos have been prosecuted for their videos. None of the videos have been removed from the internet. Mr. Myers has not been charged for any of the dozens of videos he has made about state employees other than Mrs. Walker. Conclusion. Pressmaster? Thank you. I do like the mic. Okay. So you say, Special K, what up? Thank you for sending on your minutes. Those were very appreciated. But we got to go back to a press master for a second. Being on a live stream talking about her is contact. What? Who is it contact with? Exactly, Ken. Exactly. He's being single. It's not that he embarrasses him. He humiliates him, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I don't think the prosecutor will win. Alright, well, okay. We agree there. I don't know how you... So if you think a live stream is contact, do you think it's... Did you say direct contact? Is contact. Is that direct contact? What about the voicemail? Is that direct contact or is that indirect contact? NWC? That's interesting. I happen to see the exact same amount of issues. The exact same amount. 33 lies, and she managed to pump those out in less than 15 minutes. Unreal. I don't think a live stream is contact. That's almost like saying this live stream here is a contact with Shannon Walker. I mean, it's just as much of a contact with Shannon Walker as it is with the pressmaster. You know what I mean? I don't agree with you. I can agree with you if he sent the live stream to her. That would make sense. That's like saying, okay, here, I'm gonna send you this. This is me talking about you, right? I would be able to get on board with saying that would still be an indirect contact in my mind. But I could at least wrap my head around that. I don't think that just talking about somebody is contact. That's so I've had contact with Shannon Walker, with Matt Walker, with Laura Conover, with the Dabbler, with Judge Metcalf, with Rachel Stiles. I've had contact with all of those people in this video. I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. Now, if I send them an email and said, watch this, we're talking about you, I think that's different, right? Oh, yeah. I'm not. That's true. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, we just got through saying that he's ignoring it because he's not going to let you just violate his rights. The dude's sitting in jail, right? He's sitting in jail because he's not going to... He'll sit in jail instead of allow people to violate his rights. It takes a certain amount of moral courage to do something like that. I know that a lot of people think that it just takes a lot of foolishness, right? But I think that's a little shallow thinking there, you know? So he was ordered not to do it, right? But it wasn't lawful for them to make that order. So he's ignoring that order. Like, he's ignoring that law. And I can respect that. I can also see, I'm not blind, I can see why these things are happening, why they're retaliating against him like this, but the consequence for the violation of injunction isn't the crimes that they're actually charging him with here. It's somewhere else in the anti-slap. I'm not going to find it right now because we're actually on the last page, finally, on the last page. But there's a specific statute. It's, shit, I can't remember. It might be something with court proceedings or something like that. But they're not even they're charging him with whatever crime they can't easily he can't easily, like, if they charged him even on the electronic harassment side, which fits more, right? They automatically can't do that because there's a carve out for constitutionally protected activity. Obviously, there's not going to be a carve out for constitutionally protected activity in aggravated harassment and aggravated stalking, fear of death, right? Because they're bullshit charges that they're sticking on him that don't fit the facts of the case. So, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'd love to post. What are we talking about? The Attorney General? Get him on the phone, Sylvia. Patch me through once you get him. Yeah, courageous as fuck. Let's all be honest, right? Let's have a little moment of truth here, right? How many of you would be that brave, right? Because this isn't like getting arrested at a traffic stop or something like that, right? This is a whole nother level. So, what do you guys think? Let's vote a little bit. Can we vote? Let's get a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you would have the courage. And again, I recognize that a lot of the people will say it's not courage, he's a fool. Well, we can just agree to disagree, right? But the fact remains, do you 1, do you have the courage, or 2, do you not? I don't know. Conclusion. The foregoing evidence is more than sufficient to make a prima facie showing that the state initiated this criminal prosecution with the intent to deter, prevent, or retaliate against Mr. Myers for the lawful exercise of his First Amendment rights. The state and the state actors involved in and with legal actions against Mr. Myers over the past approximately 10 months have consistently and repeatedly attempted to curb and restrict Mr. Myers' ability to record and broadcast courtroom proceedings and to speak publicly about matters of public interest. Importantly, the state's course of conduct throughout its interactions with Mr. Myers shows a clear pattern of escalating efforts to curb Mr. Myers' free speech rights, culminating in this felony prosecution. Because the state has thus far failed to force Mr. Myers to remove his constitutionally protected speech from the internet, it has increasingly escalated its efforts. With this prosecution, the state has shown its hand. Rather than acknowledge that it cannot remove Mr. Myers' speech on matters of public interest and concern public court proceedings, public records, and even simply his personal expression and views from the internet, the state has chosen to double down on its efforts by initiating felony proceedings against Mr. Myers. The only way the state can silence Mr. Myers is by incarcerating him, and that is precisely what it is attempting to do. This legal action is nothing more than a desperate attempt by the state to silence Mr. Myers. Criminal prosecutions are intended to vindicate the rights of and obtain justice for victims. An individual is not made into a victim because someone said her name, talked about cases in which she is a party, talked about cases in which her husband is the prosecutor, or posted public court records for proceedings in which she is a party on the internet. Yet, the state is alleging all these acts as felonies. The state can point to no similarly situated defendants whom it has prosecuted for similar conduct. This prosecution has been initiated because of efforts by Matthew Walker, a City of Tucson prosecutor, and Shannon Walker, a University of Arizona law school employee, to remove the videos have failed. For the foregoing reasons, the court should grant the anti-SLAPP motion pursuant to ARS 12-751 and dismiss the case. Given the exigent circumstances under which Mr. Myers files this motion, facing the imminent threat of deprivation of liberty by pretrial detention, Mr. Myers respectfully requests an opportunity to amend this motion within a reasonable time frame and if needed. Anybody vote? I had some voters. When did Lane speculate he'd get out of jail? I don't want to depress the chat, so I'll tell you what I think. We need more pressure on the judge. He needs 10,000 more emails. He needs, at the bare minimum, the voicemail box filled up. But if that thing can't be filled up, then he needs 50,000 voicemails, and then maybe the same on the emails. 10,000's not good enough. Alright, so what did you guys think of that? I thought it was pretty well written, huh? Guy can write a motion. But how? Not write news. In the description, the contact in the description, there's a Google Doc that'll take you to the anti-SLAPP. You can download a copy. You can share it with whoever you want. There's a couple other documents in there, I think. There's also contact information in there. So, yeah, please be respectful. We're trying to get somebody out of jail here, right? Yeah, Jaybird. He's like his own law firm. I haven't read any of his motions and been like, oh, that's trash. You know what I mean? I've read some of my motions and been like, wow, that's trash. But Waco Cop Watch. That's great. Not great that you got arrested, but great that you got paid. Was there any accountability, or did you just get paid? I imagine you just got paid, which I mean, I'm not knocking it. That's accountability is a tough one, right? It's a tough one. I think I already blew the sounds like at the very least we won't have a trial next week, though, in New Mexico. It started right there. Jaybird, he's not in jail for a bond violation. When you're on, I'm not entirely sure that what I'm about to tell you is the straight facts, but I think that I'm understanding it correctly. So if you're out on felony bond and you pick up another felony, you are automatically a no bond. You're automatically a no bond. And then he has a bond hearing. He has a bond hearing on Tuesday, and from the conversations that I've had, it sounds like that's a relatively short hearing, and there's not a lot of optimism around. There's not a lot of optimism around it resulting in him like getting out. So, not real likely that he's gonna get released at the bond hearing. What needs to happen is he needs to get released by the judge. The judge needs to. The judge can take action on this motion any time, right? I mean, it's a motion to dismiss, so I don't think there's an additional briefing needed. I mean, from the state, they're corrupt as fuck. Yeah, for action, that's that. I mean, that's the game, right? I mean, we know the game. That's what's going on. How long have we been live here? We get on around midnight, or was it later? It's been later. Alright, so what happened to... Oh, Alex. Oh, no, Alex. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Lane's in jail with no bond. So he... How long ago, Alex? When's the last time you were in the chat? When was this dated? This was dated on March 7th. So last Friday, is that last Friday? 2 Fridays ago, March 7th. He was indicted, or he was mailed the summons right here. 14 charges, 8 felonies, 8 felony charges. So are you, Alex, are you up to speed this far? Like, were you aware of the eight felonies and the 6 misdemeanors? Okay, so he got these 8 felonies and these 6 misdemeanors, and then he got bond, right? They wanted They wanted $25,000 bond, and they wanted to take his internet, right? They want him to, drive around with his feet through the bottom of the car too, and like the Flintstones or something. And he ended up getting ROR'd because it's a nonviolent crime, and we're talking about YouTube videos after all. But while he got released at the arraignment, and I don't know, that was last week or whatever. And then he went home, and he made this video right here. This is a 16-minute video with no sound. Just going through the Googler. So he caught a felony for that. And then what happened is he came onto my YouTube channel. I don't know what it was. He came out of my YouTube channel, and I interviewed him about his charges, and he caught another felony for that. And then we were dissecting all of the stuff in the discovery that the state is going to use to attempt to convict an innocent man, right? So we were looking through all that discovery, and what we found was Shannon Walker, in a police report, she lied to the police and said that Lane was her ex, so that automatically escalates all of these things that are going on, because it's like a domestic thing, right? So Shannon's out there telling the world that Lane is her ex. And, I try to make light of the situation, right? Because this is perverse what's going on. So, she says that, so I make this meme. I make this meme and I send it to Lane as a joke. Haha. She thinks that you guys dated. Haha. Why don't I turn her kids into you? Pretty funny joke, right? Apparently that's a felony. Felony meme production. This fucking cuck. Fucking garbage guy. So, anyway. You guys want to know what's up next? What's up next on our itinerary now that we're through the slap? Felonious meme, that's right. Felonious meme production. I can't believe I'm still free. Lane's gonna sue me for it. You wouldn't believe some of the lunacy out of Tucson, guys. Do you guys remember How many of you remember this? How many of you guys remember this?
We're gonna.
This video is really just a declaration of war. So you've seen bits and pieces. You know how it goes. So now we need to get this out there. We need to let them know that this woman just straight up that I've never met in my entire life attempted to weaponize the Tucson police. And then we can see that the only reason I was at that building was because the Tucson police wouldn't allow me to my records request. And then the only reason I was needing a records request was because I was unlawfully arrested by some weird ass fucking cop, Ding Dong himself. What's this fuck? Deloria. Deloria, bro. We're gonna put you in the fucking time machine, bro. Back to when you were unemployed and you weren't a cop. So we're gonna jump in the DeLorean, bro. Wait till you see these videos of him fucking clapping in my face like a little kid and shit. Like, dude, this guy is peak steroids and stupidity. And so we'll get into all that. He's going to embarrass the whole fucking city, get the whole city sued. We're going to have a nice legal battle. And
so that's where this all started for me, I believe, was this little video where I made where Lane declared war on them. And he's basically called every step along the way. He's told me what was going to happen next every single time. So what we're going to cover, oh shit, I closed it. What we're going to cover is one of my all-time favorite videos. We're not going to do it tonight. We're going to shut down the live. I'm done, guys. I'm done. I'm tired. It's fucking 2 in the morning. But I don't know when we're going to go live again, whether it's tomorrow morning or not, but I posted it earlier today.
At the hearing under oath, he changed his answer. Okay, because the pretrial, I do this for a living. I have lawsuits in multiple states.
This is the one, guys.
what's your name? How do you say that? Thank you.
Riojas.
What's his name? Huh? Oh, okay. I know his name. I was just wondering if he was ashamed to give it. If he was ashamed of who he is, any of that. He has no shame. No ethics. You have no ethics either, do you? Are you about to dismiss this?
No.
Okay, then set the court date and I'm leaving.
Set a trial date?
Yep.
What's the date?
So, Alex, I don't even know if... Thank you for that. I don't even know if I finished. So, that's what we're going to cover next. So, he's being held without bond because of those 3 new felony charges, that 2 of which I'm responsible for, apparently. So, that's why I showed that other video. Let me get through what I'm saying right now and see if I can remember to go back. So he has no bond. They gave bond during the bond hearing. 2 or 3 people before him, there was a guy that strangled, kidnapped, and held a woman down. He got $10,000 bond. Lane made a silent video, got interviewed by me, and published a meme that I created. And because of that, 3 more felonies, no bond. Tuesday the 25th, he has a bond hearing where he expects to be held without bond. And then Friday, there's a conditions of release hearing, which that's the one that matters. That's the one that would likely who knows, you know, who knows what's going to happen, you know. He was in court on, was it Thursday? He was in court on Thursday in a hearing where he won a motion, his motion to represent himself pro se, and then he walked out the door and got arrested by Tucson City Police. So that'll bring you current. But what I was saying when I got off and went over here was you guys wouldn't believe the level of involvement that the city of Tucson pulls me into this with. This video here, this was in the discovery. That video was in the discovery on the booing case. So they've been watching me for quite some time. That they watched this and somehow you tried to use this as some kind of evidence against Lane. It's insane. It just makes them look so fucking terrible, because of the statement that he's making in all these videos. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I'm only worried because he's in jail right now. You know what I mean? I know that he's right? You know that he's right. I just don't want the guy in jail. You know what I mean? So that pinned comment, there's an email and a phone number in there. Send an email. There in the description. There's a link to the anti-slap that we just went over. Share that with anybody that you think will look at it and will listen or anything like that. And yeah, I'm only worried because the dude's in jail. Like, I know that he's right and that these charges are total bullshit, but people die in those in those jails, you know what I mean? And people, they kill people in those jails because they want them dead. So that's what we're going to cover next. This is our next video, because this is really what it's all about, right? It's all about Matt Walker.
I want to be heard on 2 matters.
You guys can talk amongst yourself when I'm gone. Because if you start the hearsay bullshit again, you're a tainted jury. So if he says anything other than anything about the case, you just tainted the jury. Because if the jury was sitting here, he wouldn't be able to talk hearsay.
You don't get a jury trial.
I don't what?
You don't get a jury trial.
You're the jury. You're supposed to be an impartial judge, which means an impartial jury. If you let this man spout off about anything other than the facts of the case, you just tainted the jury. You'll be recused like the last 4 judges. You'll have a commission of judicial conduct complaint. You'll have a lawsuit. You can laugh and joke all we want. This is an unethical.
Never once spoke to her. Never once. Sent one voicemail. That was it. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming in, finishing out that anti-slap motion. That was a doozy. That was an impressive piece of work product, for sure. Who's another YouTube lawyer, David? I'm certainly no lawyer. I'm not like a Judge Ball, where clerking for a judge gives me judicial experience. I just read a motion. That doesn't actually give me any legal experience. I just read a motion. That was it. I appreciate everybody coming in. Hope you guys have a good night. Give the judge a call. Send him an email. Because, he can act on this anti-slap right now. I don't know why. I'm not sure why he's not taking immediate action. it seems like something that should be done. Alright. Everybody have a good night, alright? And the next one's gonna be, it's gonna be a real good one. So get your popcorn ready, everybody. Get your popcorn ready. We're gonna roast the fuck out of Matt Walker.